Well, good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. War. We're going to war. War is coming. One or the other. Everybody's talking about it. I just kind of scroll through some of the YouTubes out there, and I see that pretty much, not everybody, but a lot of people are talking about it, and I think it's a certainty. Now we've been talking about this. I said the war's coming. We don't know whether it's going to be an international war or an internal war, and I think it's going to be a little bit of both. It may not be the type of war that we think about, that we've been used to in the past. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into that, we're 2 days away from the gathering, from the Integrative Preparedness Stonemont Gathering this Saturday, the 13th. Look forward to seeing everybody out there who's coming. It's going to be a great day. The mugs for the gathering are being printed up today. They'll be available for people who want some. I want everybody to have a. They're going to be a real low cost. I just want everybody to be able to have a memento from it, something to remember. Those who were at the very first one, because I've already decided to go ahead and make this an annual deal. So there's that. Those of you were supposed to be getting the printer. Says they're going to be getting my load of books into me sometime between Monday and Wednesday. So for those of you who have been waiting for your books, they're coming. I've had a couple of people message me and ask, "Hey, where's my books?" Well, I said, that they were going to get them to me the first part of July, and then they'd be shipped out. So maybe you didn't hear that. But those of you who pre-ordered the seventh book, I have an announcement about that too. The seventh book, On Wings Like Eagles, they're coming in first of next week. And those of you who ordered the entire set, because we had a special on ordering the entire set, which includes all 7 of the Stonemont books plus the Stonemont notebook. When you ordered that as a set, well, that comes as a pre-order, because you see the On Wings Like Eagles is a part of that set, so I can't send them out until I get that in. And we had hoped to have them in the week of the 7th of July. That's when we thought, but they're running slow, and so they're going to be in that week. So when we get those in, then I will get them out. So I'm glad that you're eager to read them, but that's the deal on the book. I can't send them out until I get them. You see, right? And then I get to sign them and everything like that. The reviews on the 7th book have just been phenomenal. I'm glad that those of you who have already read it enjoy it. And somebody asked, is this going to be the last book? It just says, but it seems like there's more to do. And you know what? I agree. I think there's going to be 2 more books in the Stonemont series. I think it's going to take that to just kind of bring everything together, all the different storylines. Those of you who have read the series know it's fairly complicated. We deal with a lot. It's all over the country. It's the redevelopment of community after, and what form that takes after the complete collapse. So I think 2 more books. We'll just see, and then maybe I'll say, well, 9 seems weird. Maybe we'll just make it a full 10. I don't know. We will see at the time. But somebody says, so you're writing another book? Yes, I am. I don't think it's going to be a series, but we will see. It's a modern day organized crime book that I think a lot of people will enjoy and learn from. That's what's important. I've talked before about organized crime as being they were real preppers. They had to learn how to live under an oppressive government in many different places. Now, many of their activities were criminal activities, and I don't condone that. Let me back up on that. Things are made illegal that may not be immoral or unethical. Okay, so there's a fine line there. I'm not going to get into that. I've done mafia and organized crime videos on the Patreon site. I don't put them on YouTube usually. And I meant to mention this too. I'm going to be locking out a lot of my videos now from from YouTube for a variety of reasons. I'll talk about that either later during this one, or maybe I'll do one on its own. But let's get to what we're talking about today, and that is war is coming. Let me have a sip out of my mug. Everything tastes better out of a Stone Mountain mug, especially my coffee with butter in it. People say, butter? Yeah, butter. Try it. You'll like it. So war is coming. I know that people have this almost insatiable need for continued negative news and talking about this is happening and this is happening and this guy did that and Zelensky did that and Putin did that and Biden did that and what's going to, all of that. Listen, let's get to the brass tacks of this, all right? None of that matters. They are using all of that. They're using, and then it's inflation is high. Yes, we know inflation is high. Come on. I mean, how many times can you talk about financial problems? Yes, the economy is in shambles. Okay, people are hurting. Now here I talk about. I don't like to keep on going about. Oh, people are hurting. I try to explain to you how not to hurt. Okay, I try to explain how to do better, not to continue to wallow in this continuous, things are horrible, what's going to happen? If all you're doing is talking about the latest bad thing that happened, it's just a soap opera. And your life is not supposed to be a soap opera. Life has always been full of problems or challenges. And whether they're a challenge or a problem, it depends on how you look at it. Challenges make us stronger. People who look at these things as challenges continue to deal with them and get stronger. People look at things as problems, usually don't get stronger because they just feel beaten down by the problem. Okay? And you can't do that. And I know that the preparedness world is full of people, unfortunately, that prefer to do that than to actually take a positive step and better their lives. And I hope that's not you. I don't think that it is, because on this channel we have, there are some here who, to be honest, occasionally I see the comments. They are negative, and they're not going to be able to help themselves. They're not going to get ahead. They just tune in to all the channels telling them how horrible things are, and they're more horrible today than yesterday, but don't worry, they'll be more horrible tomorrow. Okay? That is no way to live. Seriously, it's no way to live. One of the reasons that I'm locking out so many of my videos is that it's just, I try to talk about the things to actually do to better your life, and people just don't want to hear that. Well, some do, but the ones who do are willing to come to Patreon. Okay, and when they get a low, when I give the real advice, it is such a low viewership that YouTube won't promote it, and that hurts the channel overall. And so I'm just done with that. I'm done with trying to help people that don't want to be helped. Simple as that. But there are some things that are overarching enough, like this, war is coming, that I will continue to put on YouTube. Stop constantly trying to feed the need of knowing the latest bad thing that happened. Now, I don't mean don't keep track. You should keep track. You should keep up to date on what's going on. Okay. Is Biden suffering from dementia? Yes. I mean, how many times can we say that? Right? How many times? Oh, man. It's like Hannity. He can say the same thing every night for 5 years. And I guess there's a reason for that, because some people need that beaten into their ears. And obviously there's a great market for it. But how many times do we have to talk about the fact that Biden can't do the job? How many times do we have to talk about that Putin's a bad guy, or Zelensky's a bad guy, or this or that? Hey, what's coming together is probably one of the most complex and dangerous situations we've ever experienced in our lives. Okay? I don't know about history, but in our lives. The internal instability in the United States sets us up to be victimized by the instability of the world outside. Okay? I mean, really, what happens between Russia? These things are happening because our country has become weak. Okay? We can go into that, but there's no need. Because on this channel, what we talk about is what to do. What are you going to do? So if all you want is for somebody to list out all the things that are, oh my gosh, this is horrible, well, there's plenty of places for that. Let me ask you this. Are you willing to do something about it to better your position? Because that's what you need to be doing. You need to be doing everything you can right now to better your position. I don't care who wins the presidential election. I don't care what happens with our government. Well, I do care, but that has nothing to do with your preparedness. Okay? You are in control of your preparedness. And if you see what's happening now, you can see that our food supply is under attack. You see, a lot of it would be easy. I should probably just make a whole video like the food supply is under attack, and then they're poisoning our air, and they're doing all of it. I mean, do we really have to be reminded that they're doing all of it? Apparently, some people do. What people need to be reminded of is that it's up to you to do something about it. Okay, I'm already now. I went to the store the other day and started getting a lot of stuff for the gathering. Okay, and I saw more empty shelves at my grocery store than I've seen since the 2020, 21, whatever it was, since the lockdowns. That tells me something. It tells you something too, right? More shortages. We've seen, if you listen to Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen and all those talk about don't pay attention to those. Well, I won't say don't pay attention. You can keep up with what's going on in the economy, in the Fed, and the Department of the Treasury, and all this. If you want to keep up on that, but don't allow yourself to be used as a ping pong ball by saying, "Oh, now this today, now this tomorrow. Are we going to reduce interest rates? What's the economy doing? All that." Hey, it might be interesting, but that has nothing to do with your preparedness. Okay? You need to prepare. What does that mean? It means the same thing it always has. But now with war coming, and I don't think there can be any argument that it's already here. Okay? War is here. The war is going on. We are participating in the war in Ukraine. Of course we are. Everybody knows it. Okay? This is just a precursor to the possible and probable expansion of a war beyond what it is now. Finally, Zelensky, who has been the little tough guy, right? The high-heeled dancer from Ukraine, the most corrupt country in the world. He's been the tough guy demanding more money from us. And now he's saying, oh, maybe we'd be willing for a truce, a ceasefire, a treaty or something like that. I guess we might be willing to give up some land. Hey, anybody who knew anything knew that Ukraine wasn't going to win this thing, and that it was being used to launder money and to make money for the gazillionaires who make their money out of war. Simple as that. War is a racket. Smedley Butler. If you haven't read it, read it. So we know that that's going to go on. And we know that it's going to get bigger because of the election coming up, and you all know why. Okay, our border, they're making some noises about, well, we're doing everything we can to secure the border. Bull. You know why they're doing that. They are shipping in enemies of the American people. Do you really need to talk about that anymore? You know it's happening. What are you doing to prepare? You should be doing everything you can to separate yourself from dependence on the system. Now, some people will say that means get out of the cities. I disagree. That's not what I'm saying at all. When I say separate yourself from the system, I don't mean leave a great job, a great home, or whatever in the city or the suburbs. It's not what I mean at all. As a matter of fact, people have asked me, I'm going to do another one on this. You move out into the country, and your opportunities are going to be drastically limited. You're not going to be able to make the money you need, okay, to be able to participate fully in whatever the economy brings. And it's going to bring changes. It always has. But what hasn't changed is that your ability to participate in the economy is very important to your survival and your preparedness. Okay? So I'm not saying that at all. You know what I think. I think the suburbs are the place to be. The money's better, the opportunities are greater, the conveniences are better, the public services are better, the medical care is better. Everything is better for the most part. Unless, and I'm not putting down the people that like living in the country. If that's for you, that's great. And that's not most of us, and it's not most preppers. Okay. But you need to be doing everything you can to separate yourself from dependence on the system. And what that means is you need to have everything. You need to not have to go out of your house for anything for as long as you can. How long, Steve? Well, how about a year? How about 2 years? Can you provide do you have everything that you need? And now most people don't. No, most people don't. And so I want to say that. And I understand that. We have a lot of new people joining the channels and a lot of new people over on Patreon, by the way. Good to have you. And guys, if you're not on Patreon, you need to be on Patreon. It's $1 a month. And the link is down below. And I'll be I'll be serious here with you. If you're not willing to pay $1 a month to help yourself, you're not serious. And I know somebody will always say, yeah, I can't afford $1 a month. If you can't afford $1 a month, you don't need to be watching this unless you're in a long-term care facility or something like this, and you're just watching this for entertainment, in which case I wish you the best. But if you are otherwise able to do something in your life, which means you're not in a coma for the most part. If you're not in a coma, you can do better. Then you need to stop watching this video and go out there and try to improve your financial situation. Whether you ever come over to my Patreon channel or anybody else's Patreon channel, whether you ever come back to this channel at all, is not nearly as important as you bettering your life. And that means getting out there and making more money so that you can be prepared better. You can prepare to separate yourself from dependence on the system, and that takes money. And the reason that I know that many people out there who talk a good game about preparedness aren't serious is because they continue to refuse to accept the importance of money and doing better. You know why? Because it takes effort. Ooh, is Uncle Steve getting a little bit cranky this morning? Not really. I'm just tired of people acting like they want to do something that don't. I'll probably put this over on the Prepping for Prosperity channel, but I've had in the past a number of people ask to borrow money from me. I don't lend them money. But you know what I do? I talk to them at length, and I see what their situation is. And then I give them the advice that they need. And I say, if you will do this, you will fix your money problem. And then you won't have to worry about it again. And you know what they do after that? Nothing. they leave disappointed and kind of grouchy that I wouldn't lend them money. They won't learn. And it's kind of the same thing. And I've given them everything that they need to know. It's kind of the same with preparedness. You need to separate yourself. In good times, it's always a good idea. In times of war, it's imperative. In times of war, look what has happened in the past in times of war. Look at all the shortages. You think that things were short during the lockdowns? I don't think that's anything compared to what it would be when the wars really get cranked up. And this kind of war is going to be different. Yeah, they're going to try to draft your sons and daughters and send them over there and fight in a foreign land so that they can make money. Yeah, they're going to try to do that. We'll see if they can or not. But we know those wars are getting bigger. What was the last that you heard of anything about Israel? Have you heard anything about them lately? When's the last you've heard about China and Taiwan? Heard anything? You know why? Because they're watching us tear ourselves apart in the United States. It's just like Trump. You haven't heard much from him. He's not attacking Biden. He's, there's this old saying that when your enemy is destroying themselves, don't interrupt. And they're seeing how much we're going to be destroying ourselves before they just come in and have their way with us, as it were. Okay. This war is going to be different. This war is going to be, cyber is going to be a lot of it. Cyber attacks against our power grid, against our water supply, against our supply chain, against public services, against our financial services. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and going down to the bank and finding you can't access your money. Imagine going down to the grocery store and you're going to go get groceries and gas, but nothing's working because there's been a cyber attack on the credit card system. Do you have cash? Like I've always said, you should be able to sustain yourself for as long as you can without participating in the system. Do you grow food? Do you have food stored? Do you have water stored? Do you have a way to filter water and purify water? Do you have means for defense? All that you need. Do you have your people close by who can operate as a group? Can you fortify wherever it is you live? Can you essentially do without the system providing for you for an extended period of time? If you can't, that's the direction you need to be moving. And you need to do it now. Now, if you're new to this or you don't feel like you're far enough down the path, or as far as you would like to be, don't let that bother you too much, and don't listen to the people that say, you'll get these occasional idiots come on and say, well, if you haven't started now, it's too late. Well, I don't know if it's too late or not, and neither do they. They're just trying to act important. Get started now. Do the best you can. Okay, do what you can. You're going to feel a lot better as soon as you can look and say, I've got a month food. You're going to feel better, but not nearly as good as you're going to feel when you say, I have 6 months of food. See what I mean? Okay. All right. War is coming. Get ready. You get ready by being as self-sufficient as you can. Otherwise, you're going to be caught up in the chaos of a crumbling country in war, and that's no place to be. Okay? All right. Hey, looking forward to seeing you all at the gathering in a couple of days. Can't wait. For those of you saying, where's my books? They're coming as soon as I get them. I think I explained that several times. I've announced that quite a few times. I understand that you're eager, but they will get, we will get them out when we get our shipment. And I hope you enjoy them. You're going to learn a lot from them. Let me put it that way. Once you read, if you haven't read the Stonemont series, it will answer more questions than you can think of. And that's why people read them over and over again. We have had people who have read them 4 times, the whole series, 4 times, 5 times, and say, I'm still seeing stuff, I'm still learning stuff I missed the previous times. Okay? All right. Get ready. It's here already, but more's coming. Okay? And how well you do is going to depend entirely on how you prepare to do. As we say, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. You're going to live as well tomorrow as you prepare to. Separate yourself from dependence on the systems. That's what it's all about. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.